I'm going to hit the other one. All right. So at this time, we're recording. Adam's not in the room. So in the meantime, I'm going to say things like, I hope you guys have been enjoying the season so far. I know you haven't been bombarded with episodes. They've been slower and steadier, but hopefully enjoyable. Remember, you can always reach us at our website. 31 Nights of Fright is going on over at adamanalyzes.com. If you haven't been listening to that, you've got at least a few weeks worth by now. So jump over there, get at it, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's see what else. I've got a lot of things that I'm excited to share with you guys this episode. Adam and I are going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about we're going to talk about Jared Leto. We're going to talk about iPhones. We're going to talk about sneakers. We're going to talk about multiverses. We got quite a few things there to talk about. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Adam's back in the room.
Am I?
There he is. There he is.
Did I show up?
I was like, let me just start talking to the mic, kill some time, see what's going on.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Go right
How
ahead.
fun is it talking to yourself into
you
the
would
microphone?
You would know more than me. I had just mentioned that they should be over at adamanalyzes.com listening to the 31 Nights of Fright, where Adam talks to himself every day for an entire month.
I do.
Yeah. So
It's scary because one of the nights
yeah,
I answered.
I hope that's true.
It's not.
But with all of that being thrown out there, I'm going to say cue the music. Well, play the music. That sounds like the 20th Century Fox intro starting.
You mean 20th Century Studios?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, 20th,
Yeah, 20th
Century?
Yeah, right?
Or is it Century Studios? I don't know what.
Fuck.
It's stupid. Whatever Disney's doing there, it's dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how clean that even showed up. My boom, boom, boom
Well,
thing.
they're going to hear it. You're going to hear it.
Yeah,
So,
but I think it was pretty soft.
I think it came in pretty strong.
All right, whatever.
You guys let us know. But let me go ahead and say hello and welcome to another episode of In Our Honest Opinion. I am Will, and joining me as usual is
Adam.
Yo. We've got quite a few things. If you guys, at this point you're tuned in, you know that we've got a couple topics there that we're excited to share with you. So before we jump into all of that, Adam, what do you got to say to the people?
If you do have a free moment and you're enjoying this podcast, if you're not enjoying it, hopefully we can do something to help you enjoy it.
Yeah. Free
But
handies.
one of the things that'll help us reach new listeners is a 5-star rating
Yeah.
on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you hear us. We would greatly appreciate it because it'll help us grow and continue making new episodes. Plus, we love those digital hugs.
We do love digital hugs. I love digital hugs. You can do all of that over at innerhonestopinion.com, at adamanalyzes.com. That's where we can feel you the most. So,
Sure.
with that being said, I've got something here that you're going to feel in your heart, Adam. This one got announced today, so this will put into perspective when this got recorded. I didn't preface anything at the beginning of the episode,
Okay.
you didn't expect this. Short form video service, Quibi, is shutting down.
What?
Yep. And there it is. The Wall Street Journal threw it out there. Employees and investors were notified about the impending shutdown over phone calls that were sent out this afternoon.
Oh, man.
How are you going to watch? What the hell's the name of that show again? The Game? No. Survive?
No, it was, well, I better watch the other 2 episodes before it's gone.
Yeah.
It's the 50 States of Fright.
That's what it is.
The Sam Raimi anthology show, which is pretty entertaining, and I really do hope it gets picked up somewhere.
You better cross your fingers.
Hopefully Die Hard gets picked up somewhere.
Quibi had backers that included most major Hollywood studios, Alibaba and Google, and the information says it'll shut down with $850 million in cash and several hundred million in debt.
So it blows my mind on this that they couldn't find an investor, because like investors, I guess, were just like, or even somebody to buy it or buy the technology.
Yeah.
Maybe we should launch a change.org save Quibi.
You get right on that.
I mean, it's almost like when I wanted to do that one for the Rush Hour TV show.
Oh, yeah, that got shut down too, huh?
Yeah. And it was intentionally stupid.
All good things come to an end.
I was so close to actually posting that.
Jesus.
But it wouldn't let me post it.
Yeah. Well, for good reason. For good reason.
No, it just internet cut out. I don't know. Maybe it was a sign from God that the Rush Hour show was never meant to be.
Yeah.
That maybe it was supposed to be that one special place and time. I don't know.
I'm nodding my head no for those of you listening. No.
For those 2 weeks, when it was not canceled.
Sweet Jesus. Well, goodbye, Quibi. You will not be missed by many.
No, I'm not going to miss Quibi at all.
Yeah. And you were paying the subscription?
Man, I'm still paying on it. I mean, I'm going to cancel now.
Yeah. Can't keep your money.
But I want to watch those episodes of 50 States of Fright.
Yeah.
Sadly, we will not get all 50 states.
No. No. Yeah, I think you're right there.
We got like 7 or 8 states, I believe.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Well, goodbye, Quibi. Take it easy. Try not to hurt too many people. That was like, what's a movie subscription that I own stock in? Movie Pass.
Movie Pass.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it still listed at something?
No. That whole thing's done. They're bankrupt. It's over.
It's like 1/1,000,000th of a cent is what it's like each share is
I
worth.
think so. I'm pretty sure. That stock is at zero. That's done. But let's.
But here's the good thing: if it's at zero, it can only go up, right?
You're not wrong. You're not.
Keep holding out hope.
Let's switch over to something here that's screwing people over as well. Our one topic of the iPhone 12. Apple announced their new iPhones, a little while back, and at this point, I think people have the 12 Pro out.
12 or the 12 Pro,
and then next month is going to be the 12 Mini and 12 Pro Max.
The weird thing is that there's not a whole heck of a lot of difference between the 12 Pro and the 12.
Nope.
Outside of what, like $200, and you're getting better cameras. But I mean, more RAM, better cameras. But for the most part, the 12, its specs are still pretty awesome.
Yeah. And so just for everyone who doesn't know, right, Apple announced 4 iPhones. All of them are iPhone 12s, but you've got a 12 mini, which comes in with the... Hold on a second. I want to get all the screen sizes right here. What was that noise? There we go. Compare models. All right. So the iPhone 12 mini, which is... That's not 6.1. It's like a 5.4-inch screen.
I think it's roughly the size of the 10, right?
There it is,
iPhone
12
10.
mini. Am I missing something?
Are we under an attack from like zombies or something? Did the zombie apocalypse finally happen?
Maybe. All right, so we didn't get attacked.
Thankfully.
Everything's good, yeah. All right, so the iPhone 12 mini is 5.4-inch screen. The iPhone 12 is a 6.1-inch screen. Jesus. The iPhone 12 Pro is a 6.1-inch screen as well.
But isn't that one slightly taller? It's like it's a slightly different dimension than the standard 12, I think.
Is that what it is?
I think it's like slightly taller. It might have a little bit more screen real estate to it.
It doesn't say it here. It's telling me 6.1-inch diagonal for both OLED.
Well, maybe
12 and 12 Pro.
It's shiny.
That
right.
Yeah. So the difference between the 12 and between the 12 mini, the 12 compared to the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, is that the 12 Pro and Pro Max come with stainless steel antenna bands all around the edge.
Right.
Square design, and then the Pro Max is a 6.7-inch screen, and that one's definitely taller than the last year's model.
So, on that,
There it is.
I do want to complain about AT&T a little bit.
Okay.
I just realized, like, on my plan that I have that no longer exists, which happens a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I
Right.
agree.
5G access. My current plan does not include 5G access wherever I can find it.
Find it? Oh, interesting. Do you get the 5GE right now?
Yeah, which
Okay.
obviously it's,
Yeah, no, it's 4G.
it's
I mean, that's LTE.
yeah, it's just 4G with a different number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not any faster. And it looks nice up in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bunch of BS.
But yes, I was looking at newer plans, like their unlimiteds and stuff.
Yeah.
And I could actually save a little bit if I cancel my one line and get that.
Okay.
So that actually says includes 5G access. So that led me to believe that any plans that are not on their two new unlimited things
Yeah.
are not going to include 5G access. Like, really? Like, can they really not?
So then that's yet
Like-
another
like-
company screwing you over.
Can they really? I mean, it's AT&T, which I expect them to screw you over, but they're not Spectrum.
Good callback. Spectrum. Always giving it to you in the rear.
Dude, as soon as I said that, I'm thinking I gotta mention Spectrum, specifically because they're in the mobile business now too. So
So here, right? Here's one of the reasons why I, shifted over to this, like screwing people over, right? That definitely sucks if that's making me question now the AT&T plan that I'm on, but I'll have to look into that. But this year, Apple went ahead and did this, and it's shit. Like I want to put that out there. They no longer include the earbuds
Yes.
or the charging brick. And they chalk that up to, now, with the environmentally friendly packaging, we're saving and blah, 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 blah. Go screw yourself. Like, this is screwing over a bunch of individuals. And the thing is, I think you and I, we can go ahead and, like, let's just update the listener, right? Year after year, we have a brand new iPhone.
usually, yes.
Usually. And so with that, I mean, we can't say that, this is a decision that's being made and screwing us over because essentially this doesn't really affect me. I've got multiple of the Lightning whatever chargers or whatever the hell, or the Thunderbolt. Is that what it is, Thunderbolt, right?
The USB-C to Lightning.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I only have one of those, but at least I feel like one of those old prospectors, like, ooh, I got it. It's like
Gotcha.
like I
You got lucky.
Yeah.
I found one
and like
in last year's model.
like you found gold or you struck oil.
Yeah.
Like, I feel great that I have that thing. It sucks that they're no longer including that they're going to charge people for it now.
It's the brick. Now you've got to go chasing that brick down because that's
And-
not a standard one that you just have lying around. Like,
no, and that brick is awesome. Like,
It is.
You want your phone charged quick.
it's going to do it.
It's
Yeah.
going to do it very quick.
Yeah.
The only thing faster is to actually plug it into the MacBook charger.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And so with that, right, now they're also pushing the fact that these MagSafe, they brought back the MagSafe name, but these magnetic chargers now that slap onto the back of the phone. Hey, cool, like I'm on board with that. Like I think that's a good idea.
It's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at that.
But they don't include that.
They
You
don't,
got to buy
exactly.
it.
And so it's just all like, okay. So again, for those individuals that are like jumping in, especially for those who, you know what, I'm gonna put Marvin kind of in the spotlight here. Marvin, I think, has a 10s.
Yeah. I think he's still rocking the 10.
Is he? That man's stronger
Like,
than I am.
the last I knew, he still has the 10.
Okay. And so if he decides to go ahead and upgrade, like all he's getting at that point is that cable, and now he's got to go,
Yeah,
hunt the brick.
He's got to buy that fast charger,
Exactly.
which is awesome. Like, it's an awesome charger.
But if I remember correctly, that's a $30 purchase. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big number to tack on to any new purchase.
I actually heard that they lowered the
cost
prices
of some. Yeah,
like they lowered the prices of some of those things, I guess, to make it better. But it doesn't make it better when
it's still an additional cost.
because you're still producing it at that point. You're still producing these things.
Yep.
Apple said that by not including it in the box, it's going to lower their carbon emissions, this and that. They should be at zero, which is pretty much impossible.
They're trying to do it.
I mean, specifically with the business that they're in,
Yeah,
it's pretty much impossible to get to zero.
I agree with that.
And not including the earbuds. Like the earbuds, I'm going to be honest, I don't care about that. I care more about the power adapter.
Yeah, and yeah, because again, I've got wireless headsets that I use. I don't use standard whatever. So, like, I get that. But again, it's for me, it's the end user, and then it's the that excuse that they're helping whatever blah blah blah. It's like no, you're essentially pocketing some of that money, and at the same time, you're kind of hurting some of your user base.
I really hate it that they're dressing it up with that, and it's a cash grab that they just don't want to do it.
Yep, I agree.
But yet they're dressing it up with, oh, we're going to save the environment. I'm all for saving the environment.
Yeah.
This isn't going to do it.
No. I'm trying to see if I can actually find the price here. They're only going to give me $500 for my phone. Are you out of your mind? Shop accessories. There we go. See if I can find
Yeah, I actually
that.
saw it said like $4.90 for mine or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it said for you? Is $4.90?
Shout out to Zigzag. He just posted in our Discord. Well, so much for Quibi. That's good.
Poor Quibi.
Yep. There we go. Power and cables. Cables. There it is. Oh, it's $19. Okay.
Okay, so they're going to charge you $20
$20
for the adapter.
20. Still, it's $20. Again, that's an additional cost. You shouldn't have to shell out when you get a brand new phone.
Right. I agree with you 100% on
$1,000 phone at that.
So you got to admire. I'm gonna use my my profanity right here.
Go right
You got to admire Samsung. There's a thing on the internet known as shit posting, where you just constantly try to just shake up the nerves of people and stuff. A lot of people that are fans of the president, or the other way around, will do vice versa.
Yeah.
So Samsung went and decided to say about, hey, guess what? We still include our, the power adapters.
brick. Yeah.
But then they announced months ago that they were going to not include them.
Yeah.
So you really have to admire what Samsung says. It's almost like the headphone jack thing.
Yeah.
But I think this is actually more detrimental because the fast adapter really served a purpose.
Yeah. It did. And so I think you and I may have watched the same review, but it's suggestive here that the idea is that in the same way that, the earbuds at some point, the phone lost the headphone jack because they were going to go, with the pushing for wireless earbuds. That the idea here is that this is now laying the foreground for no more charging port in iPhones in the future. Which I'm going to be honest, yeah, I see Apple doing that.
I could see them doing that. I think that would cause more outrage than the headphone jack.
Yep.
Because that would actually tick me off a little bit.
And so I see that as okay, well then at that point they can easily include like a cheapo Qi charger or whatever with the, or not even, it's not going to be a Qi charger because it's their MagSafe is what they're going to be pushing. So I could see that, that little puck or whatever dropping in cost over the next few years, and then they go, okay, well now this we can go ahead and include with the phone.
I was going to say that puck is going to increase the packaging size because that thing's big. You saw
So
on that.
I've seen it in people's hands. Yeah, it's bigger than than the Apple Watch charger for sure.
I mean, it's almost the size of the phone.
No,
like when they put it in half, like it.
I'm thinking it's a little bit bigger than that.
No, it almost goes from here. It's big. It's a big circle. I thought you watched that review because the guy was saying about it. He's like, it's much bigger than the Apple Watch one.
Let's try something stupid here. Let's see if Apple will let us AR this thing anywhere. You know how on their app they'll let you put like the new HomePod Mini.
Yeah.
You can put it on your counter and see what it looks like. No AR option. Dang it, Apple! When I really need you.
I'm just thinking how silly that is. Man, the room was really incomplete till I got that HomePod.
Yeah, yeah. One of the other things that they announced, but overall, I just as much of a fan as I am of Apple's, some of these things they rub me the wrong way, and it sucks. I'm no, by no means do I mean that, or do I think that they're a perfect company. No one out there is. There are designs over on Samsung's end that I'm a huge fan of, or even Microsoft's recent Surface Fold or whatever the hell that thing's called. I think that's quite an interesting piece of tech. But it just, at the end of the day, they're going to continue to make whatever decisions they want to, and I got no say in that. So.
Of course, Apple is still being Apple. As much as we're fans, they still infuriate us a little bit. Like, for everything to get right, they get like two things wrong.
Yeah.
Like, why in the world did they not include the 120 hertz refresh rate on this phone? That's going to be on the iPhone 13, and people want to get it. Well, I actually have a plan, and I clued you into this a little bit.
Oh yeah,
you
what's
and
that?
Marvin in the thread. Because I'll probably wind up getting the 12, thinking about skipping out on the 13, get the 14 when you probably aren't going to have a notch or some redesign of that whole thing.
That whole assembly.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason why they can't actually get rid of the notch
At this point?
and just have the dots, for like the camera and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to look ugly.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Samsung proved that. Like their Galaxy S10 and their S20 and stuff. I mean, like they're very snazzy looking devices, man.
Yep. No, I agree.
So there's no reason why they couldn't just have like the little, like the little hole
hole
sensors
punch
and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I don't think they actually need to have that black bar.
That whole space. No.
Of course, I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
No, I mean, and at the end of it, like, sure, right? You end up kind of oblivious to it at some point. Like it, like I don't really see it.
Right, it blends in, but like you were saying before, when you see someone else's phone, that's when it becomes more obvious and apparent to you.
Yeah. I also agree that it's unfortunate that they didn't go with the higher refresh rate this year. It is one thing that's actually being like mentioned quite a bit with a lot of the other high end phones.
And Apple knew it.
Yep.
But they don't care.
Nope. No, and I don't expect them to, right? At the end of the day, I mean, are they doing good? Yeah, their stock continues to climb, and they continue to...
I mean, let's go and be bold and say that it's still good that Apple is under the leadership of Tim Cook. At least Tim Cook is more forward-thinking than Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if it was Steve Jobs, I think the iPhone would have died because he would have refused to really...
embrace some of the changes.
Yeah, and make the phone bigger and stuff like that.
Yep.
There would have been more lockout stuff. I mean, Tim Cook really made Apple more forward-thinking and approachable with a lot of things.
More future-proof, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I mean, I don't want to just continue, like crapping on this phone. I think it's amazing that it's, flat. I think that was one of the things that's been pointed out in a few reviews that I've seen, that the screen itself is completely flat,
flat,
curved edges or anything. I love that boxy look.
It looks beautiful.
Yep.
And not only that, with the colors.
Yep.
I mean that blue is absolutely beautiful looking.
Yep. Those are two. So that's one of the two colors that I really, really like. That and the gold. I don't know what the hell's going on with me at this point in my life, but gold was never a color that I was a fan of before. And maybe it's just because I went so long with, black iPhones and then white iPhones. And then
I always
at some
like
point.
that, though. I always like if I can't get like a color I want, then I want it to be like black or something.
Yeah.
I went gold once with my iPhone XS Max.
Gotcha.
And I liked it. I liked the little I don't know what was the.
It's a rose gold finish or whatever.
Yeah, but the luminescence I thought was cool. Like
Oh,
like
okay.
you know how it's gold, but it looks almost pinkish.
Yeah.
With like the
Yep.
luminescence when it
Yep.
like hits the light. I think that looked really cool.
It was, yeah.
And you could see like rainbow colors in addition to the actual gold when the light hit it. But
Yeah.
then otherwise it had that pinkish, that
It
rose
was a
gold
little
type of
pink hue to
look. I thought it was nice looking, but the more I looked at it as I had that phone, I'm just like, man, I wish this thing was in black. Like, I just wish that was in like a darker color.
it. Yeah.
So
I'm very excited for squared edges, flat phone. I'm going to be rocking that thing without a case for a little bit. And I'm hoping that the back is the 11 Pro Max, the finish that they did on the back of these phones, amazing.
matte finish
Yep.
that more or less self heals with scratches.
Yeah, I don't think I have any like visible scratches on the back of this phone
Yeah, I don't
still.
think I do either.
And I've rocked it without a case quite a bit. Now on the edge, on the outer band, sure, the screen definitely has some scratches. Without a screen
Yeah.
protector, it's not looking good in this corner. But
No.
you put a screen protector on, you don't see any of it.
That's one of the frustrating things too.
Yep.
I hope their ceramic
Their new
shield?
ceramic shield, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that means more scratch resistance. Like
Fingers crossed.
I'm guessing this is probably just a dressed up Gorilla Glass, but they couldn't use Gorilla Glass or whatever, so
I thought this was in partnership with Corning, right?
it is, but I'm assuming that Corning
Yeah.
didn't want to tick off Samsung.
Gotcha. They're like,
So
This
they're
is
like,
different.
we're going to call it Ceramic Shield.
yeah.
So hopefully it is durable because I do see with the way that screen is, the perfectly flat,
Yeah.
I do see it a possibility that there's going to be a lot of people breaking their phones.
I could see that.
It's a possibility.
But let's. Oh. Whoa. Oh, okay. All right. That wasn't supposed to happen. Hold on a second, guys. All right. So that was my HomePod just doing whatever the hell it wants.
For the record,
Great.
I have no idea what was just played.
That was. No, I think I have to actually acknowledge what it is, or else we get in
I
trouble.
mean, you're talking to somebody that lives, in the 70s,
in the
80s,
ghetto.
90s.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I'm not.
It was the look on your face.
I was gonna say I'm not Elvis. He has that song.
Yeah. So that was Drake with God's
Drake.
Plan. So, oops.
Cool, man.
With that, let's go ahead and switch it up. Here's something that I didn't think I'd actually see. Jared Leto is going to be playing the Joker again in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I'm pretty sure people in hell got a nice little cold breeze today.
They had to have, right? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. I'm not a fan of Jared Leto's Joker. I'm not.
I'm still saying that there was not enough, and this is the conversation earlier that I was having with Zigzag, and I don't think there was enough of Jared Leto's Joker
Yeah.
to make an entire assessment. I mean, you disagree. I know, but I am happy with this because I'm hoping that they show it as a flashback, and I'm really hoping that they do show how he got his grill. Because David Ayer did say that was the idea of why he has that grill. It's not just because he wants to be a gangster and crap.
Yeah.
It's because he actually got his teeth knocked in from
By Batman?
Batman
Huh.
with killing Robin. It would be nice to actually show something like that,
See that?
because it was hinted at in Batman versus Superman
Yeah.
with the statue and everything.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right. With
so
the
it was-
ha 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 on the suit.
So it was hinted at. So in doing that, it's nice to have it bigger world. Not only that, I still say that he's not the actual Joker.
The rumor was what is it? Todd, Jason Todd? No.
It could be that or Tim Drake. I forget which
That's.
one.
I think it's Tim Drake. I think that's the one you're thinking of.
I forget which one. Zigzag would have to
Confirm.
would have to set me straight on that.
Yup.
But whichever Robin wound up being Red Hood, which I can't think at the moment.
Who is Red Hood?
Gonna spoil it for everybody.
I guess we shouldn't, but I'll show it to you, so that way.
I mean, it's an old story arc and storyline.
But just in case. Nope, nope, nope.
I think he probably had a couple different people playing.
Yeah.
I mean, in true comic book fashion.
Ah, there it is.
Ah, okay.
See it?
So you were. Oh,
You were.
Here, huh? no. Okay,
Just
so
confusing the listener.
Will was right. Or was I right?
Or were you? Yeah.
I'm just trying to not ruin anything for anybody in case they.
Get on the internet and read it, or
Yeah,
I mean, buy
if,
it.
If
Buy
you
it.
really want
Read
to
it.
spoil it,
Yeah.
you could actually get the what they have that new animated movie too, the Death in the Family
Oh yeah.
one.
Yeah, they've got quite a few actually.
Like
of
they
those
have
movies.
that, which is I guess like an expansion, but yet an edit of Under the Red Hood, which Under the Red Hood is one of the best DC animated films.
I still haven't seen that one. That on
I recommend
Vudu?
it.
Okay, all right, good to know. Death in the Family. Batman, Death in the Family. I mean, ultimately, we're going to see how this thing plays out. Early next year is when Justice League is supposed to be dropped.
I mean, but
All 4 episodes.
I'm wondering because they are shooting some new footage, right? So it makes me wonder if Jared Leto's Joker, if it's going to be leftover Suicide Squad stuff, or is it going to be brand new Zack Snyder shot footage?
That he's got to finish off. Like, oh, I need to figure out what's going on here.
So it just makes me wonder what they're actually going to use. Considering Zack Snyder doesn't want to use anybody's footage, I'm going to assume this is brand new shot stuff.
I would agree.
And I don't think it's going to be for a long time, but it's going to be more of a flesh out the world type of thing.
Yeah, I just with the more and more stuff that gets like released on this, I'm just more and more curious as to what the hell is it that they're actually putting together. Because this cannot be, at least in my opinion, all right, well, now this is just a completion of what I had set up before. Now it's starting to feel more like, well, now we're going to lay some groundwork for what can come next.
Right. And that's the thing that everybody said, all right, well, this is the Snyder cut. Well, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything he's doing, 'cause not only that, when he shot that then and now, he's got to be a different person. And you got to think he had all those ideas running around in his head for those years that he wasn't working on it.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? It would be great if I did this or I did that in addition to what I was doing before. So maybe it's a better movie than what he came up with before. Maybe it's a worse movie. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see, but I kind of wish they would stop dropping these things. Like, I was excited when I saw that. I actually enjoyed Suicide Squad to an extent. I mean, I know it's a jumbled, edited mess. Like, it's very sloppy.
There was a lot going on there that I was not a fan of.
So I'm excited to see what they're going to do here. But like you said, it seems to be setting it up. And I think if they're including Jared Leto's Joker,
Yeah.
I think that almost confirms that we're probably going to wind up getting a new cut of Suicide Squad at some point in time. It's a good possibility, especially if they're going to have him.
The DC like fan in me is going to be like, all right, well, I mean, I'm going to end up watching the damn thing. But that's got a better chance of me seeing it than Birds of Prey. I watched 7 minutes of Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, I was incredibly mixed on. And that was the thing. After it ended, I said to Nicole, I'm like, well, I watched it once. I'll never watch it again.
You're done.
That's
You're done,
it.
son.
That is it.
Yeah. That is it.
I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's got a lot of inept filmmaking choices.
Yeah.
And what they do to Black Mask and Victor Zsasz, it sucks. Really does.
That I was sold something at the beginning of that movie, and I was like, okay, I'm on board. Right, the whole idea of magic and kind of over the top, whatever. I was like, all right. I mean, we're getting right into it. I'll let it happen. Let's go. And then and then it devolved for me. But hey, we'll see if the other cut gets released and it is in fact better. I mean, I'll admit that. You know, I have no issue with that.
Holy crap! You know what?
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about. And you didn't respond when I said about it, but when I was on the plane, I watched Shazam.
Oh yeah,
I watched Shazam, and I really liked it.
it was good, wasn't
Like,
it?
I thought it was really good.
It was surprisingly good.
The movie gets bonus points from me for being set in Philadelphia,
Oh, of course.
but it was good. Like, I was surprised. It was
It was well told.
it was a fun movie.
that-
It had moments where it made me laugh like
Yep.
out loud,
Yep.
like where Nicole actually looked at me.
Shh.
Yeah, because I was laughing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. And what was good is that I don't know much about the Shazam character, so the ending, the final act, the big fight there,
With the multiple Shazams.
like I was actually like surprised, and I was like, "Oh, get the hell out of here!" And I enjoyed all of their interactions, or with the monsters, all of their reactions to their powers.
The movie gets bonus points too because it had Mark Strong in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was there like, oh, all right,
He's good.
cool.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good villain.
Yep.
And
So-
that whole banter at the end too, where he's going and like saying about how he's going to destroy
The
him.
monologue. Yeah, and he can't hear him.
He's like, I
Like,
can't,
are you monologuing right now? Like,
can't hear you.
yeah, exactly. I thought that was good. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was pretty funny.
It had its funny parts. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was well done. So the fact that there's going to be a sequel. Now, the one thing that I didn't like, and this is just because sometimes I can be a Superman snob, you could totally tell that was a much smaller guy in the suit at the end of that movie. I
It
was
would
all
have
like,
been so much better if they would have used.
Cavill?
Well, I
Or
heard rumor
Cavill's
that
body
they
double?
shot that scene twice.
Yeah.
I heard that they shot it twice, once with Cavill, once without Cavill, because they were in a
Yep,
contract
negotiations and stuff. Yep.
dispute of, and right around that time is when he was like, well, he's no longer Superman.
Yeah.
He's now the Witcher dude,
Yeah.
whatever that guy's name is. So
Witcherson. That's it. I'm fairly positive.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I'd bet a horse on it.
Or you toss a coin or whatever they do.
That too.
What is the toss a coin?
I haven't watched
Oh,
all
you
of The
didn't- you
Witcher
didn't
yet.
watch
I've
it?
watched maybe 3 episodes.
I haven't watched any.
I mean, I enjoyed what I saw. I just,
Anyway,
But yeah, so
either way, it would have been better with Cavill in that part.
it would have been.
It was still fun to see the Superman thing.
And it was. It was a fun movie. It was good with the casting. It'll be interesting to see a sequel because of how much older those kids are now as well. So we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I didn't think I would be.
Let's go ahead and switch universes here, actually, and talk about Spider-Man. Let's jump over the MCU for a little bit.
The one that does whatever a spider can.
Yeah, that one. So
Yeah.
Sony's got the rights or whatever that they were able to figure out some sort of negotiation with the Marvel studios last year, the year before. It was last year, right?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
And so Spider-Man had already made all of his cameos and did all of the movies or whatever that he needed to for the MCU as part of their initial negotiations.
The final one was supposed to be Spider-Man 3, wasn't it?
No, I think the final one was Endgame. No, Homecoming. Far from Home. Sorry.
Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah. And so once that one was done, that's why the whole idea was like, well, then what the hell happens next? Because, now they don't have to let him, kind of go and do any more movies for Marvel.
I mean, they could have struck like a one-pitcher deal
Yeah.
because Marvel still got kickbacks off of the Spider-Man films.
Yeah. It was a good deal, I guess, for both of them. But now, Sony's doing, of course, what Sony wants. And at first, I think we were afraid. They were like, okay, well, they're going to screw this up because, before they wanted to do the Sinister Six movie, the Aunt May movie, the guy who runs the building movie.
Well, I was never scared.
Yes, you were.
I was not.
You're afraid.
Avi Arad is in the
Shut
driver's
your
seat.
mouth. Avi Arad, Jesus. Avi Arad, super producer.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so
And Toy Mogul. That's where he made most of his money, was the Toy Biz toys.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Avi can stay over there then. But now rumors are bouncing around like crazy, and it looks like and I'm going to say it's based off of the success of Into the Spider-Verse, which was amazing.
It's good. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man films.
For sure. Animated, the whole multiverse thing, that they went on in there, I think did very well. But I think it's safe to say that at this point, based off of that success, the third Spider-Man movie looks like you're going to have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and, oh my God, what's this kid's name? Andrew Garfield?
Andrew
Garfield
Garfield.
Spider-Man,
Yep.
which could be fun. And this could very much be because of Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Yeah, and that's why when Scott Derrickson was booted off of Doctor Strange 2, because he directed the first one, and he left, he's staying on as producer or whatever. He has nothing to do with it. That's just so they can pay him or whatever.
Yeah.
When they announced that Sam Raimi was directing this, that made me think, all right, well, maybe there might be a bigger plan in store, because Doctor Strange is going to rip
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange is going to rip the whole thing open.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I mean, especially since it's the multiverse of madness. They're already, I think it's the MCU can influence the Spider-Man films, I believe. Like they're allowed to use whatever they want from MCU.
Yeah.
But the events of the Spider-Man films cannot change anything for
the
MCU.
Yeah. Because the MCU is all like, you don't come play in our pool. That's not the way that works.
I mean, they more or less are anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they're allowed to be there from like 12 to 4.
Maybe.
Like maybe Monday through Friday.
Yeah, type of thing.
Maybe 2 weekends a month. I don't know. Maybe
2 weekends a month sounds good. That sounds legally fair. I think what's interesting here now is that as we get closer to these like releases, or the more and more news that comes out, now you can see how the Doctor Strange kind of can impact Spider-Man, and then add on top of that WandaVision. Which you've got some, splintered time.
Yeah, she's gonna rip the whole thing open.
Things
too.
as well. So, it's interesting to see there that, they're still doing. The MCU is still doing what the MCU does, right? And they're always working 2 or 3 narratives at a time, right? It's never just the one. And so,
well, let me put it this way: it's good to see. I'm hoping that it does like this the way I want it to.
Yeah,
it's good to see it doing something different, and that they're willing to completely shake it up.
And that's what we were touching on just before this, right? That it looks like what they did with the first 3 phases. Is that what we got?
Yeah, I mean they more or less told that one story.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. A cohesive, story. Well, as cohesive as it can be, spanning 22 films.
And that's one of my. That's one of my complaints is that I think it's too many films for one, and for another, it was too linear.
For them, but and hats off to them for pulling that off. That's a lot. Like, just the idea. If you had walked in the studio and said, "Hey, so I want to do 22 movies, and I want to go ahead and tell like a story across all of them,"
as much as you and everybody says that, I don't think they were planning 22 movies.
Oh, but that's the thing.
They had more planned.
I can't say that they had more or less. I think what happened was you're right. They did have others that got canceled, but I think that they had an idea of point A and point B, not knowing what's going to happen in the middle, and so that's why some timeline things just don't line up just right. People have tried to put together the MCU timeline, and it's just all like, but did this happen before? And this kind of negates that, and whatever. Fine, not perfect, but either way. Billion-dollar franchise, billions of dollars franchises or whatever, and they pulled something off. And I think now they can go, all right, well then, now let's try something the opposite of that.
I still feel that no matter how much planning was there, there's enough that wasn't planned. That
I
was
agree
like,
with that.
we're going to add another movie here.
I'm going to say Captain Marvel was that.
Yeah.
I don't think that was that whole BS of like, yeah, we knew this was no. This was thrown in after the mix. We had a couple social things, happening in
Yeah.
the real world that said, all right, well then now how do we dictate or how do we impact that?
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, either way, it'll be interesting now to see kind of what they do with the whole new formula moving forward.
That's the thing about Spider-Man. I want a Spider-Verse. I don't necessarily want it in the third movie. I'm fine with just,
A one-off.
5 to 10 minute cameos. Well, no.
Oh, gotcha. You
I
mean
don't
not the whole?
necessarily need it
Yeah.
in the Tom Holland Spider-Man 3. I don't need it right there.
Yeah.
Give me that promise of a live action Spider-Verse. I want that.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if they would be able to juggle multiple storylines. I don't know if they will be or not. It would be nice to catch up with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It would be nice to catch up with them. Where are they now in their lives? Specifically, I mean, Tobey Maguire is what, in his 40s?
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
in his 40s, so he's going to be a older Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I would like to see, what happened to him.
Yeah, I can
I
see
would
that.
like to see what
45.
happened. Yeah, I would like to see what happened to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man
And
as
Andrew
well.
Garfield's 37. Tom Holland's 24. I think I'm more looking forward to seeing how creative they can get with, like a fight sequence with the three of them, because I thoroughly enjoyed the second Amazing, I think is the Amazing Spider-Man, right? Andrew Garfield's second film. Those fight scenes were a lot more fun to watch because he was a more seasoned Spider-Man, and you saw, these interesting moves that he was doing. And then when I think about even Far From Home, where he's fighting the big old Hydro monster or whatever the heck it was, that the web swinging through and pulling and you watch all of that and you're like, all these acrobatics are fun, and so it would be interesting to see these different kind of styles come to play, and it is. I mean, Tobey Maguire was the original like Spider-Man. I enjoyed the first two Spider-Man movie. Like I thought they were good. I enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man or whatever
Man,
movie.
I just want to throw a Spider-Man 3 out there.
Yeah, no, not
So
that
bad.
one. I enjoyed Spider-Man 1, 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, or whatever it was, the first one.
Spider-Man 3 was the best of the trilogy.
And then I've enjoyed both of the Spider-Man movies so far with Tom Holland. Tom Holland? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's as much as you like the Tony Stark Jr. Spider-Man, I don't dig that. So
Yeah. And then
But
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I enjoy those films. I enjoyed them
Yeah.
more than what I thought I would.
Yeah, I think the first one was the definite standout for the entire MCU, and that's because of how they executed the bad guy in that.
How crazy would that be if that's that Spider-Verse idea
Yeah.
was still around for Far From Home
Oh yeah.
because of having J. Jonah Jameson,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily the same one, but a multiverse version of him.
Of him. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you have one that has the wig, one that doesn't.
doesn't.
I mean, one that's like a
Parker.
yeah, which
God, that'd be-
I still like how he abuses Peter
Yeah.
Parker and
Yeah.
also abuses.
And what's his name's a damn good actor. He could definitely pull that off.
I'm gonna say the dude that's always the side of him, Ted Raimi's character. It's Sam Raimi's brother.
Yeah.
It's that's actually the one I met at Spooky Empire.
Oh, did you? That's
yeah,
funny.
And I was there like
Yeah, his assistant, whatever the heck that guy's name is. Yeah.
and I was there
That's
at the
funny.
party and stuff, and yeah, it was very awkward talking to him.
I let's see what they put together. If you guys are huge Spider-Man fans, let us know what you want to see in the Spider-Man 3 film, or even better, let me know what could really screw it up for you. What don't you want Sony to do? Bring
I'm gonna
Tony
say
Stark
too
back.
that I'm excited for that. I think Sony is acknowledging now too that people aren't stupid, because I said before, why did you have to kill off the Tobey Maguire universe? Why did you have to kill off the Andrew Garfield universe? You could theoretically have Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, just like the comics.
Yep.
And you could do the same thing in DC, which it seems they're going to start doing something like that in DC. People aren't stupid. They know what universe this one would be in.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you have to kill it. Like, well, we're going to reboot it.
Yep. Start
I
from
mean-
scratch. You got to know how he gets his powers again.
Yeah.
Do we really?
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice that they're acknowledging that the movie-going public aren't stupid. However, it does make me question it. The Fast and the Furious still makes money. I'm just kidding.
45 movies.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
With that being said, again, let us know what you guys think about the Spider-Man stuff. Definitely interested to see what goes on there. I think we'll get more solid news as we close out the year. The last thing actually that we have here, this is more just for Adam and I to gush a little bit.
Spent way too much.
Look, Adam and I, although you guys, sometimes hear us go kind of back and forth on some films and we don't always see eye to eye, there is a movie that we love wholeheartedly, and that is Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. It's a franchise that I've watched over and over and over again, and I never get tired of it. I always think that it's great storytelling, and there's a huge bit of nostalgia thrown in there as well, which always keeps it enjoyable. A few years ago, Nike released what did they actually call those?
Those are
The mags, right?
Yeah, the Nike
Air
Mags.
The Nike Mags, is that what they
Yeah.
were? Nike.
I mean, I don't know if they were Air Mags, but they were Mags.
All right, so the Nike Mag.
It was 2011 was the first. Yeah,
$60,000.
Dude, I already looked at those.
Jesus.
I did. I'm just like, yeah.
Wow.
Who in the world?
$30,000 to $58,000 is usually what they're kind of bouncing. They gone up. I looked at this a couple weeks ago, and they were actually around 15 to 20,000.
I saw one pair of the 2016 self-lacing ones.
Yeah.
I saw those for like 58,000.
So yeah, and the one that I'm looking at right now, the last one sold for $34,000.
Yeah.
So the Nike Mag was released back in 2016. It was a nod and a throwback to the old shoe that kind of made an appearance in Back to the Future 2, and then it was also like a partnership where a bunch of the proceeds went to Parkinson's, right?
Yeah, it was Michael J.
For Michael J.
Fox's
Fox.
his charity.
Yep.
What is nice about that though is that Nike made it a reality. They went and they were a year off.
Excuse me.
Nike was a year off,
Mm-hmm.
but they released those ones in 2011. Didn't do the auto lacing or anything. It looks like they just had like elastic straps or something.
In 2011?
In 2011, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because they released those and they didn't have the power laces, and they had the
Gotcha.
Christopher. I was about to say Christopher Walken.
Christopher
No,
Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd
Yeah.
commercial, and they said, "Oh, well, what about the power laces?" And they're like, "Oh, not yet."
Oh, but we're working on that, right? I think I
Well,
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta wait till 2015 for that. They didn't get it done in 2015, but sure enough, 2016 rolls around, bam, there they are.
Yep.
And when I looked at the bidding on those, I'm like, yep, no way I can I afford those.
The 2011 shoe right now is actually going between 14,500 and 15,000.
Yeah.
Whew.
Which I feel bad for people that dropped like 30, 40 grand on those.
Oh.
And they're not getting back their investment if they're trying to sell those.
Yeah.
Not only that, that rubber is going to be oxidized.
Oh, for sure.
So
For sure. So they released that shoe, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's an ugly shoe, but it's an ugly, like, beautiful shoe. Like, when I see it, I'm like, oof. But yeah, I'd wear them.
But it's, I would too. It's that this is what the future was supposed to be back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Now, not only that, it's a mythological shoe. It was always rumored
Yeah.
that Nike was going to come out with the shoe. They never did. Of course, it was also rumored about the hoverboard. You never got, the true hoverboard that you wanted.
Yeah, true.
But it's one of those myths, and Nike made it a reality, which
Yep.
is pretty great.
It was very cool to see it all work and everything like that. I think I saw a video of Michael J. Fox putting on, the pair of the self-lacing ones or whatever. And since then, Nike's been working on the, auto-lacing feature. They made it more compact. a lot more durable, and then you can loosen, tighten up more often, whatever the case is. And so they released the Air Mags, I think it was like they released a different one, and then I think they did the Air Mags, the BB, whatever, and I think we're the 2.0 version of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that they released the original BB
Yeah.
in a mag colorway. I didn't know that.
Air Adapt BB 2.0, Air Max 270, whatever.
But no joke, I wanted like shoes in mag colorways
Yeah.
for a long time. Because there was a couple of years ago, the one pair of LeBrons,
Yeah.
they came out in a mag colorway with the gray and everything. And
Oh, okay.
they looked similar to the mags. And I'm like, yeah, I want those. They never came down enough. I didn't feel like dropping 140.
Yeah.
Kind of silly considering of what we're going to get into in a minute or
second,
two
yep.
that I'm complaining about that.
And so I had seen the Air Adapt. These are the Air Adapt BBs or whatever. And I remember I saw them and I was all like, I mean, that's it's a good looking shoe. Whoops, it's a good looking shoe. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not gonna spend again when they released $350 on a shoe.
The first ones that came out,
Yeah.
they were $700.
Ugh.
Yes.
Ugh. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Which was nuts.
Yeah. And so now it's worked its way down. And then as a throwback, they decided to do a new Air Adapt BB 2.0
Yep.
with the colorway or whatever of the Air Mags, that they released back in 2016.
Yes.
And those shoes are gorgeous. I'm not going to lie to you. I think
mean,
they've got a bit of retro and a bit of modern.
If we're being honest, this is a much better looking shoe than the original mag. Even though if I had the choice between the two, I would go with the original mags.
Yeah, so would I. For sure. That's the nostalgia speaking for you.
It's like, man, I'm going to take these ugly, gorgeous shoes over these.
Over these that are more practical.
Yeah, and they look fantastic.
So we've got these shoes coming.
Yeah.
We've got these shoes coming, and I'm going to be honest. I mean, we're probably going to have to take photos of these, put them on Instagram just to share, or at least throw it in the Discord.
That we're loaded too.
Yeah. Definitely not. But these are fantastic sneakers. I think, at least for me, I'm not so much a collector, but occasionally you get something like this that it's like, yeah, like I want to, kind of take part in some of that excitement, and at the same time, like I want to wear it. Like that's the whole like idea for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart update.
Yeah.
It looks great in the mag colorway. It's gonna break my heart when those things get oxidized on the bottom when they get dirty.
Ugh.
It's gonna be like one of those things that's gonna feel painful.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, while it's not going to be an everyday shoe for me,
Yep.
it's going to be one of those that I want to wear occasionally. But, man, it's going to get attention. People are going to be like, hey,
what is that guy running around with those shoes?
Yeah, people are going to say stuff,
Size 12. That's funny. So I'm looking at StockX.com, just looking at, the shoes, because right now they're being resold.
Of course.
And so, I mean, you're looking at an average price of $420,
which is not a terrible markup to what they released.
$70 exactly. But hold on to these things for 6 months and then see what happens.
Dude, I said even Christmas time.
Yeah,
these things are gonna go
pop up rather quickly.
You're gonna get $1,000 or $2,000 for it.
So far, the highest that any has sold for is $599, and the lowest $318. Somebody got gypped.
Somebody got a deal.
Yeah.
The StockX website, I had never understood that site. Like, I've gone to it,
Yeah.
but I don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm actually buying the shoe at that point or if I'm, like, investing in it, because there are websites where you can invest in the value of a shoe.
Oh, really? Yeah, no.
shares of
These
a
are
shoe.
buying, if I remember correctly. Like, you're actually purchasing the shoe. I mean, I could be wrong. Xbox Series X, you're out of your damn mind. Either way, they're great looking shoes. I'm super excited to see these things and play with them, and the little buttons on the side, the app on your watch now as well. that's on there. It's
Yeah.
on your phone, so you can tighten them and loosen them up or whatever the case
And then,
is.
and then you have those buttons on the side too
Yep.
that light up or whatever.
Yeah. It's an interesting drop. I've never been a sneakerhead myself, but this is Wolf Gray White Light Aqua. It's a great looking shoe, and I'm very excited to kind of do this whole.
Those black
to the
ones are
Future
nice
things.
too. You saw the black ones there too.
These
on the-
here, right? I think those are the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen these.
it's a nice looking shoe too.
So Lay actually told me that I should. When do these things actually ship? It's because she was all like, for Halloween, you gonna be Marty McFly? And I was all like,
You know what? I think you should have them. I think they're shipping on the 27th. You may receive them around that time.
ooh. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Yeah. It's not a bad idea. I just got to find me a big old jacket, or what is it? The
I
orange.
saw the ugly hat when I was in Indiana.
The ugly hat's actually like been. I think you sent us a picture of that, if I recall correctly.
I don't know if I did or not.
Yeah,
but
I think you did. But I think that's a lot easier to find
Oh yeah, you can get those easy.
on Amazon and
You just need
everything.
the vest and everything. You need
Yep.
to request a diet soda everywhere you go.
Yeah, everywhere I go. Oh my god.
If we're talking about Back to the Future, man, Back to the Future is easily, I think, and I know that you and a lot of people have issues with Back to the Future Part 3. Back to the Future, I think, is the perfect trilogy of movies.
No, I can agree with
Tells
that.
a complete story from start
From
to
start
finish.
to end.
And they got away with almost telling the same kind of like story, more or less, throughout all
Each
three
one.
of them.
Yeah.
But dressing it up with a different,
Theme
yeah,
and then
like
you
a
know just a
different
little
setting.
extra hiccup. Yeah. No, I mean I can agree with that. I'm not a huge fan of 3.
I think 3 is awesome, but hear me out. 3 it was up until to 2015 was the first one I saw in a theater.
Oh really?
So I didn't see the other 2 in the theater.
Gotcha.
I mean, what the first one was, what, 85
Yeah.
or 86, 85, 86, and then I think the 2 came around in like
was, what, 3
88 or
years old?
89. Yeah, so I wasn't that old. But yeah, it's one of those perfect trilogies that you can literally sit down and watch
Yeah.
from start to finish. They're not terribly long.
No.
You can. I said 2015 was where I got to see actually the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing the back-to-back of Back to the Future 1 and 2. So
Oh,
it was
really?
actually a good memory because I remembered seeing Back to the Future 3 with my mom. We went to see Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2 on the back-to-back showing.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm like, we finally got to see all 3 of them in theaters.
In theaters, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, 1985 is when July 3rd, 1985 is when the first one came out.
I wasn't even 1 at that point.
Woo. Yeah, I mean they're. I agree with you. They are. They're. It's an amazing trilogy because you do get a complete story all the way through the end. It's nice to see the send off for Doc Brown and everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, I can appreciate that. It's just if the discussion is that we sit down and then talk about each one, then it's at that point where I can go, all right, well, I'm not a fan of that one. Like, these two can stay.
And-
I don't hate it the way I hate RoboCop 3. It's
Well,
not that in the trilogy.
You
so
know what? Now that you say it, I think the RoboCop trilogy might
go
be,
to hell.
it might be
And we
the
thank
better-
you for listening, you guys.
better trilogy.
Nope. No, blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Back to the Future is also one of those movies that, or well, one of those series that I think it sucks that we never got more.
Yeah.
But
I was on board with the remake that was rumored some time ago.
that's what I have to say about that.
With Zac Efron as Marty McFly.
No.
Yep. I'm not mad at it.
Remake? Nope. Back to the Future 4, sure. Closest thing
Or
you
even
get.
that.
Well, the closest thing you get is the game.
Yeah.
The Back to the Future.
Oh,
game.
yeah. By, the hell was that studio?
Telltale.
Telltale. That's
and
what it is.
it's actually written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale.
Yeah, I think I have that actually for like the Xbox or whatever.
It's fun, but it gets tedious.
Yeah.
gets very
did
tedious.
get tedious.
I mean, you can almost just watch the scenes or whatever and
just
make,
call it a
make
day.
your movie. And we also got the Back to the Future animated show.
Oh, that I do remember. Yeah.
It was the first time I recall seeing Bill Nye. Bill Nye was Doc Brown's assistant.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and they would
That's
do
funny.
like the little experiments you could do at home
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. That's all the topics I have actually today. I just want to close out with one simple thing. I'm not going to even make it, 20 seconds just because we're not a big politics-based show. But by the time you're listening to this, voting is going on. Early voting is going on in a lot of states. I believe Election Day is actually, November 3rd?
This is going to hit after. This one's hitting after
What?
this episode.
Oh, no, is it? I don't
yeah,
think so.
It's hitting after that.
Maybe. I don't think so. No, this is next week's episode.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
So with that being said, get out there and vote. Whatchamacallit, not everybody gets that right, that freedom, that choice. Either way you go on it, man. I'm not
So-
asking you to vote for who I'm voting for. I'm asking you to go, make your voice heard.
Exactly. You can think about it a couple different ways as far as voting. If you like the way things are, go vote.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way things are,
Go vote.
vote. So it works either way you put it.
Yep, that's exactly right. So, with that being said, I'm Will. You can always find me on Twitter at The Last Will of Krypton, and also at inourohonestopinion.com.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Adam_analyzes. And you can go to adamanalyzes.com to listen to my podcast or catch up on past episodes of my podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm on like 11 platforms.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening. You guys take it easy. Merry Christmas. Oh, no, wait, that's November. Never mind.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't even know why it was.
I'm pulling a Marvin.
You're pulling a Marvin. You're waiting to hit the button.
Am I?
Oh no!
Am I going to hit it, though?
Do it. Hit it.
Just do it?
Hit the button.
Just hit it?
Boom.
Oh, nope.
No.
Nope.
I said boom already,
I know.
and you ruined it. You ruined the boom.